Have you ever wondered if there are parts of intimacy you were never told about, secrets that could have made your life easier, healthier, and more joyful? Many women over 60 sit across from me in my office and say, "Dr. Perriera, I wish someone had told me sooner that self-pleasure isn't something to feel embarrassed about. I wasted so many years thinking it was shameful or even harmful." If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. I'm Dr. Lisa Perriera, a gynecologist with more than 30 years of experience caring for women through every stage of life. And in this video, I want to open the door to a conversation that's often whispered about, avoided, or hidden in shame: masturbation after 60. The truth is, self-pleasure is not only natural, it's also one of the simplest, safest ways to protect your body's circulation, your intimate comfort, and even your emotional well-being. Let me tell you something surprising. According to research from the Cleveland Clinic, regular self-stimulation helps maintain vaginal tissue health, supports pelvic floor strength, and improves blood flow factors that become more important than ever after menopause. Yet for generations, many women were taught that touching themselves was inappropriate, unnecessary, or even dangerous. Those old beliefs kept millions of women from discovering how empowering and healing self-pleasure can actually be. Think of your body like a beautiful garden. In your younger years, the garden watered itself naturally. Circulation was strong, lubrication came easily, and hormones kept the soil rich. But after menopause, the rain slows down. If you don't water the garden, the soil dries, the plants weaken, and growth stalls. Masturbation in many ways is a way of watering your own garden. It keeps the soil soft, the roots strong, and the flowers blooming. One of my patients, Angela, a 67-year-old widow, told me she had avoided self-pleasure her whole life because she thought it was not what good women do. But after struggling with dryness and discomfort, she finally asked me if there was anything she could do on her own. When I explained that self-stimulation was not only safe, but beneficial, she was stunned. A few months later, she returned smiling and said, "I can't believe no one told me this sooner. I feel more alive in my own body than I have in years." That's why I call this video Masturbation Secrets Older Women Wish They Knew Sooner. Because these are truths that can liberate you from old taboos and open the door to greater comfort, confidence, and connection with yourself. Now, before we dive deeper, let me set the stage. There are 3 big misconceptions about masturbation after 60 that I see again and again. 1. That it's only about pleasure. 2. That it's something women should grow out of. 3. That it's harmful or risky after menopause. In reality, none of these are true. Masturbation after 60 can support circulation, reduce stress, improve sleep, and even enhance intimacy with a partner. And the best part? It's free, it's natural, and it belongs entirely to you. So in today's video, I'll reveal the science, the benefits, and the techniques that older women wish they had known sooner, so you don't have to waste another decade in the dark. By the end, you'll understand not just why self-pleasure matters after menopause, but also how to approach it with confidence, safety, and joy. But before I continue, I'd love to hear from you. Do you believe self-pleasure is something women should still practice after 60? Or do you feel society's taboos still make it hard to embrace? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your honesty might inspire another woman to finally give herself permission. Before we talk about the real benefits of self-pleasure, we need to clear away the myths that have held so many women back for decades. Because what I've seen time and again is that women carry silent beliefs about masturbation that are simply not true, and those beliefs rob them of comfort, confidence, and health. The first myth is that masturbation is only about pleasure. Many women were raised to think of it as something frivolous, even selfish. But here's the truth for women over 60. Masturbation can be about health just as much as pleasure. According to the Mayo Clinic, regular sexual activity, including self-stimulation, improves vaginal blood flow, maintains elasticity, and helps reduce discomfort caused by dryness. It's a bit like stretching your muscles. Yes, it feels good, but it's also essential for keeping your body strong and flexible. When I explained this to a patient named Joanne, age 71, she looked at me in shock and said, "So you're telling me this is like exercise for my intimate health?" And my answer was absolutely yes. The second myth is that women should grow out of it. I've had patients in their 60s tell me they thought masturbation was just for teenagers or young adults. But nothing could be further from the truth. The body doesn't set an age limit on self-care. In fact, as hormones shift after menopause, self-stimulation may become more important than ever. It helps keep circulation alive, maintains sensitivity, and connects you with your body during a time when many women feel disconnected. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't stop just because you're older. You keep doing it because it's basic care. Your intimate health deserves the same consistency. The third myth is the most damaging, that masturbation is harmful after menopause. Some women fear it will cause infections, weaken their muscles, or somehow use up their energy. These fears are based on old taboos, not science. In reality, safe and gentle self-stimulation can strengthen pelvic floor muscles, reduce stress hormones, and even improve sleep. According to the Cleveland Clinic, women who maintain some form of sexual activity, whether with a partner or on their own, report higher levels of comfort, mood, and quality of life after 60. Far from being harmful, it's protective. Let me tell you a quick story. A patient of mine, Evelyn, was 69 when she nervously asked me if self-pleasure was still allowed at her age. She had read somewhere that it could harm her bladder or make dryness worse. After I reassured her and explained the benefits, she tried it again for the first time in years. At her next appointment, she smiled and whispered, "Dr. Perriera, not only was it safe, it actually made me feel like myself again." These myths, it's only about pleasure, you should grow out of it, and it's harmful after menopause, have silenced too many women for too long. And the result, missed opportunities for better circulation, better sleep, less stress, and greater confidence in their own skin. That's why it's so important to replace myths with facts. Because once you do, you can finally see self-pleasure not as something shameful or secret, but as a tool, a gift you can give yourself to stay healthy, energized, and connected. In the next part, I'll show you the real science-backed benefits of masturbation after 60, from how it protects intimate health, to how it boosts mood and energy, to how it can even improve relationships. And I'll also share the simple ways to practice safely and comfortably, no matter your stage of life. But before we move forward, I'd love to ask you, which of these myths do you think has held women back the most? The idea that it's frivolous, that it's only for the young, or that it's harmful? Leave me a comment below. You might be surprised how many women feel the same way you do. Now that we've cleared away the myths, let's talk about what really happens when older women embrace self-pleasure as part of their health routine. The truth is, masturbation after 60 is not just about intimacy, it's about vitality. Here are 5 science-backed benefits that I've seen transform the lives of countless women. Benefit 1. Improved circulation and vaginal health. After menopause, blood flow to the pelvic region naturally decreases. This can lead to dryness, thinning tissues, and even discomfort. Gentle self-stimulation helps keep circulation alive, almost like watering the roots of a garden. According to the Cleveland Clinic, regular sexual activity, including masturbation, maintains elasticity and lubrication, reducing discomfort over time. One of my patients, Linda, 73, compared it to stretching before exercise. "If I skip it, I feel stiff. But when I stay consistent, I feel flexible again. Benefit 2. Reduced stress and anxiety. Self-pleasure stimulates the release of endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals, as well as oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone. These brain chemicals calm the nervous system, reduce anxiety, and improve mood. The Mayo Clinic reports that orgasm can even lower cortisol, the stress hormone that often keeps women awake at night. I've had patients tell me they use self-pleasure as their natural sleeping pill before bed, and it works better than anything they've tried. Benefit 3. Better sleep. Speaking of sleep, this is one of the most practical benefits. Many women after 60 struggle with insomnia, waking up in the middle of the night, or restless mornings. Gentle self-stimulation before bed can help relax the body, lower heart rate, and encourage deeper sleep. A 68-year-old patient of mine, Margaret, used to lie awake until 2 a.m., feeling restless. When she began incorporating masturbation into her nighttime routine, she told me, "I finally sleep through the night and I wake up refreshed." Benefit 4. Maintaining sensitivity and intimacy. Without regular stimulation, nerve endings in the pelvic region can become less responsive. Over time, this contributes to the belief that intimacy doesn't work anymore. But masturbation helps keep those nerve pathways active, preserving sensitivity and comfort. And here's something important many women find, that self-pleasure actually enhances intimacy with a partner. By knowing what feels good on their own, they can communicate better and feel more confident in shared intimacy. Think of it as learning to play your instrument alone. Before playing in a duet, you play better together when you know your own rhythm. Benefit 5. Strengthening the pelvic floor. Gentle contractions during orgasm act like natural exercise for the pelvic floor muscles, the very muscles that support the bladder, uterus, and bowel. For women over 60, this can be especially helpful in reducing leaks, improving bladder control, and even enhancing posture. The NIH has documented how pelvic floor exercises combined with stimulation protect long-term pelvic health. One of my patients, Evelyn, age 70, admitted she no longer felt confident going on long walks because of bladder leaks. After learning how self-pleasure could support her pelvic muscles, she not only felt more in control, she started hiking again with her friends. When you put these benefits together, better circulation, less stress, deeper sleep, more sensitivity, and a stronger pelvic floor, you see a picture that has nothing to do with shame and everything to do with self-care. Masturbation becomes not just a private act, but a natural extension of caring for your body. Now, you might be wondering, how can women practice safely and comfortably after 60, especially if it's been years since they've given themselves permission? That's exactly what we'll talk about next. I'll walk you through simple, safe approaches, how to create comfort, what to avoid, and how to make the experience a joyful part of your wellness routine. But before we move forward, I'd love to know which of these 5 benefits speaks to you most. Right now, circulation, stress, relief, sleep, sensitivity, or pelvic strength. Share your answer in the comments. Your perspective could help another woman realize she's not alone. Let me share the story of Eleanor, a 69-year-old retired librarian who carried decades of silence. She told me, "Dr. Perriera, I spent most of my life believing self-pleasure was wrong. My mother called it selfish, my church called it sinful, and I convinced myself it was unnecessary." For years after menopause, she lived with dryness, pelvic discomfort, and restless nights, but never once considered that her own touch could help. When Eleanor finally came to see me, she said, "I feel like a stranger in my own body." She had tried hormone creams and lubricants, but nothing seemed to restore her comfort or confidence. Gently, I explained that masturbation wasn't just about pleasure, It was about reconnecting, stimulating circulation, and keeping her body's rhythms alive. She hesitated at first, but agreed to try. A month later, she returned to my office glowing. "Dr. Perriera," she whispered, "I feel like I've reclaimed something I lost years ago. I sleep better, I feel calmer, and I even enjoy intimacy again without fear of pain. Why didn't anyone tell me this sooner?" Tears welled in her eyes, not from sadness, but from relief. For Eleanor, the secret wasn't medicine, it was permission. And she isn't the only one. Another patient, Diane, 72, had been widowed for nearly a decade. She told me I thought intimacy ended when my husband passed. I never imagined I could still nurture myself. When she finally embraced self-pleasure, she said it gave her not only energy, but also a sense of independence. "I'm not waiting for someone else to take care of me anymore. I can care for myself, body and soul." Their stories remind me of a powerful analogy. Imagine a violin sitting untouched for years. At first, the strings only lose a bit of tension. But with time, the wood dries, the sound fades, and the instrument seems silent. Now imagine picking it up, tuning the strings gently, and running the bow across again. The music doesn't just return, it deepens, rich with age and resonance. Your body is the same. Self-pleasure is like tuning those strings. It doesn't erase the years, it brings out a richer, more soulful harmony that was always there, waiting to be played. When I think of women like Eleanor and Diane, I realize the real secret isn't the act itself, it's the freedom to embrace your body without shame. After 60, you deserve that freedom. You deserve mornings where you feel energized, nights where you rest deeply, and days where you carry yourself with confidence. Self-pleasure is not indulgence. It is self-care. It is one of the simplest, most natural ways to remind your body that it is still alive, still capable, still worthy of attention. So if you've been hesitant, or if the voice of old taboos still whispers in your ear, let these stories be your reminder. You are not alone, and you are not too late. The violin can still sing. The garden can still bloom. The lamp can still shine. All it takes is the courage to turn toward yourself with compassion. In the final part of this video, I'll recap everything we've covered: the myths, to let go of the science-backed benefits, and the hopeful stories that prove it's never too late to reconnect with your body. And I'll leave you with a call to action you can begin tonight in the privacy and safety of your own space. But before we go there, I'd love to ask if you could tune your own instrument again, bringing back energy, comfort, and connection. What part of your life would feel the most renewed? Share it with me in the comments. Your words might inspire another woman to take her first step. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered together. For so many women over 60, masturbation has been surrounded by silence, shame, or misunderstanding. But as we've seen, the reality is very different. It is not only natural, it is deeply beneficial for your health, your comfort, and your sense of vitality. We began by breaking down the myths that self-pleasure is only about fleeting pleasure, that women should grow out of it, and that it somehow becomes harmful after menopause. Each of those beliefs is false. In fact, masturbation after 60 can be one of the most protective healing habits you practice. Then we looked at the science-backed benefits: better circulation that keeps tissues healthy, reduced stress and anxiety through the release of calming hormones, deeper sleep, preserved sensitivity and intimacy, and even stronger pelvic floor muscles. Together, these benefits form a foundation for aging, not just gracefully, but vibrantly. And we heard the stories: Eleanor reclaiming her body after decades of silence, Diane discovering that intimacy with herself could be a source of independence and strength. These women remind us that it's never too late to tune your own instrument, to water your own garden, to let your lamp shine brightly again. So what does this mean for you? It means that self-pleasure is not indulgence. It's not shameful. It is self-care in the truest sense. It belongs to you at any age, in any stage of life. Whether you are partnered or single, whether you've avoided it for decades or already practice it quietly, you deserve to approach it with confidence and compassion. Here's my encouragement to you tonight or tomorrow morning. Give yourself permission. Create a quiet, comfortable space. Breathe slowly, explore gently, and allow your body to respond. There is no right or wrong way. There is only the way that feels right for you. And if you find yourself feeling more relaxed, more rested, or more connected, remember that is not coincidence. That is your body thanking you for the care it has always deserved. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to share this video with a friend, a sister, or someone you trust who might also benefit from hearing these truths. Too many women still believe the old myths, and together we can replace silence with empowerment. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Elder Care Wellness, where every week I share evidence-based advice to support healthy aging intimacy and vitality for women over 60. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which part of today's video surprised you most? The myths, the science, or the stories? Leave me a comment below. Your voice matters, and it may give another woman the courage to take her first step. And before we close, let me remind you, this video is for educational purposes only. It does not replace medical advice. Every woman's body is unique. If you are experiencing pain, significant changes, or have personal concerns, please consult with your healthcare provider. Your well-being deserves personalized care.